Hi everyone, it's Keely here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's soap making video. Today we're going to go and make Midnight Pumpkin, which forms a part of the Halloween release. We're going to do some sculpted layers with this one using the Wicked Lee sculpting tools. Let's go! Okay, so let's get this soap done. It is Saturday afternoon. I have shut up for the day. The cafe next door, they're also shutting up for the day. I don't know if it's their music or the tattoo parlor next door, their music I can hear, but everyone's closing up, so everyone's turning their music up. So I do apologise right now if you can hear any of that going on in the background. I am going to get myself all sorted. We're going to do this as a bit of a two-step soap. Just get my stick blender all plugged in here. I'm going to, as always, start by pouring my lye water into my oils. I have split my oils up, so in here I've got about 1200 grams worth of oil, and I've got the appropriate amount of lye water for this one. So let's get this one all started. We'll split it up for the colours, and then I will show you what we're going to do with the layers. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to colour this one. I have got some Tangelo mica. So I'm going to put a good amount in there so we get a nice orange here. Going to get that colour mixed in, and then I'm going to split some of that off and add in a little bit of titanium dioxide just so we get two different colours. Into this small jug, I'm going to put in titanium dioxide. I'm also going to add in my fragrance now. This is a brambleberry one. I've had it for quite some time. I was actually going to use this last Halloween and never got round to it. It is called Pumpkin and Brown Sugar. It was at a time before when Aussie Soap Supplies were stocking the brambleberry fragrances, and I had it from out of the clearance section, and it just smells so good. I'm hoping it's going to behave. It is a very dark fragrance, but it reckons that there's only something like 0.2% vanillin on the brambleberry website, and it smells so good. Okay, so this fragrance oil is playing nicely, which given that I want to do sculpted layers is not a good thing, but we'll keep going forward with this one and hope that it sets up a bit quicker once it hits the mold. So I'm just going to do an in the pot in there. Let's make sure that's all scraped out because I don't need any of that left behind. Grab our mold here, and I'm just going to pour this straight in, and then I'm going to leave it for however long it needs to set up, and then we'll come back and we're going to be sculpting. Alright, so while we'll wait for that to set up, I am going to extrude a piece. Now this is the big or the large extruder that I have had from off of I Dream in Soap. I've often talked about it, but I haven't actually shown how to use it on camera yet. So it's a bit like a chalking gun if ever you've done any liquid nails, that sort of thing. So you can hold the bottom of it and pull that up, and that will bring the centerpiece up here up to the top, and then we're going to unscrew the bottom. So we've got the cylinder in there. I'm going to take off the bottom piece. It is just basically like an extra large clay extruder tool. What I'm going to use is this disc here, which I have had from off of Lisa. This is part of the bonfire set, the extra large one that goes in here, and this is the middle flame. Just going to pop that in there, pop it back onto the bottom here, and I have some soap dough here. So I've actually got a couple of different colours just to make sure that I do have enough. So I'm just going to squish them all together until we get, I don't want a new colour, but I want them to kind of be marbled through each other. Alright, so you can see that they're just actually marbled through each other. I haven't made a whole new colour, so I've got all that in there, and all I'm going to do is just make sure, like you would with the normal clay extruder, make sure that it's the right size to pop in. I'm going to screw this end back on, like so, and then all you do is you keep squeezing this handle. This will push down and it will push the soap out the bottom. So I just push that button to release the pressure of it off there again. Just going to pull that up just slightly, and then I'll be able to undo that and get the excess soap that I haven't used from out of there. So now that I've got this long piece extruded, I'm going to cut it down to the size of my mold here. So I'm just going to lay it across the top, get it straight like so. I'm just going to use my spoon to do it. We'll cut off that end, and then we'll cut off that end, so I know that that is now the right length. And we'll go and put the rest of that soap dough away so it can be used for another project later on. Alright, so let's see if this is ready for a little bit of sculpting. I have this tool from off of Wickedly. It could be an apple, it could be peach, it could be pumpkin, it could be any sort of fruit that you want. I also thought you could possibly run it through that way and make a little cauldron for Halloween as well, but I'm going to make a pumpkin. So I'm going to pop it in right at the very end here, and I'm going to just very gently pull it down towards me, trying to keep it nice and even as I go. Hopefully we've got just enough in here to get that shape. Now as I'm getting down here and I'm starting to get this little build up, I have a jug here with a piping bag in it, and I'm going to put this excess into my piping bag. Okay, so I well and truly created a mess here, but I have got all of that excess in my piping bag here because I do have plans for that. I did forget that when I had those scrapers made, it was for the old molds, and these are about 3 mil wider, so I end up with a lot of sort of messiness along the edge of my mold. So I have spent a bit of time cleaning that up so we don't have all the orange down the sides. What I'm going to do with this piece, I'm going to do it so that the tip of the flame is pointing up, and I'm just going to pop that down the middle, and hopefully that will look like the stem of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to go and get my next lot of oils, and hopefully I have got enough set aside to fill in the rest of this. Alright, so I have about another 750 grams worth of oil and my lye water, so let's get this mixed together, and I'm going to split it out for a couple of colours. We're going to have a nice dark stormy Halloween sky. I have got in this one some, what did I end up using? Some grape soda. So we're going to pour off a bit in there. I also have some green, which I want for my top. So I'm going to pour off about that much. I've got a feeling I have not left myself enough, but we'll see. And I also have some silver here. This is a new one I've had from off of Heirloom, or Heirloom as people keep telling me to say. I do find it very difficult to pronounce it that way. That is called polished silver. And then into my big pot I am going for some Nurture Soap Dark Navy. So I'll get these colours mixed in. Then I'm going to do an in the pot and pour it over the top of that pumpkin in bed. so thankfully, because I have got my oil tank now, I do have some oils in the thing to do. So I have just poured myself off another 150 ml. I've got my lye, gonna mix it up with just the navy blue, put my fragrance in, and then pour it over the top. So now I have an excess of orange here, but I've got an 8B open star tip on here. And what I want to do is just pipe what I'm hoping, oh, it's gone a bit funny, are going to be pumpkins on the top of the soap. But I think that is too soft right now, because I think that one's just sunk on down. So what I'm going to do is grab a flower nail, and I'm going to pipe what I hope will look like a pumpkin on the top. And then I need my palette knife. Alright, and then we're going to grab this little knife here, and then I'm just going to pop him straight on the top. And they're going to be funny looking pumpkins, but you'll get the picture. But it just means that they're not going to sink on down into the top of this soap. Oh, I think it's set up enough that I can pipe on the top now. Just a little bit of patience, I think. Okay, so there it is. While I was piping that, I thought I'm going to call this one Midnight Pumpkin. I love the colours this is at the moment. Hopefully they all hold, and hopefully it doesn't discolour from all of that fragrance oil, but I'm really, really pleased with it, despite the massive mess that I have made. And I've actually cleaned up half of this while I was waiting for the pumpkin layer to set up. But I'm going to leave this one sit here for about 24 hours, and we'll be back very shortly and we'll take a look at the inside. Okay, so I am ready to cut into Midnight Pumpkin, and I'm loving the colour this one has gone. It's the first time that navy blue really has gone this sort of dark. Let's get this one cut open and see if I was able to get the pumpkin shape on the inside. This biodegradable glitter on it is just looking absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of soap on there from the last one I cut. Let's get it all lined up. I did have a bit of soda ash on this one this morning when I came in, but I did steam all of that off, and it is smelling really good as well. Really like this one. That brown sugar really comes through and gives it a nice rich aroma. Almost through, there it goes. And thunk goes Ida. Let's grab this one from out the middle here. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, look at that. That is so super cute. I'm going to call it a pumpkin, but as I said, you could do this as an apple, a peach, you could do a tomato, you could do all sorts, but I absolutely love how that has come up. Love that little flame, how it's made the little stalk in there, and all those swirls that are in that pumpkin. That is so cute. I can see we've had a bit of discolouring going on in here, but I'm not too angry about that. The fragrance oil has completely discoloured that purple. There is no purple in here. Either that or it's the silver that it has discoloured. Let's grab one from down here and have a look. on it. There's a tiny little blob of purple in that one, but that's probably where the mica wasn't quite mixed by the looks of things. But I'm actually really happy with the color it has gone. Hopefully there won't be any other sort of misbehaving colors in there, but we've definitely lost the purple and the silver from out of this one. I do want to try that silver again because it is such a pretty mica, but I really do like how this one has come up. Definitely a midnight pumpkin style of soap. So really pleased with it. Love the tops. Just a different way of doing the pumpkins. I did think about doing them, so I made them out of soap dough, but I decided it was a little bit too much work and I was going to have all that leftover soap, so I decided we would do a that bit of piping that's gone a bit funny on the side. But hey, pumpkins aren't necessarily always perfectly round. But I am absolutely in love with how this one has come up. So to finish this video off, I'm actually going to show you the cured soap because it has morphed back. Look at that. You can see that silver and purple has come back into it. And you can also see there's a little bit of extra stamping on this one. After I did it, a couple of people said that they looked like apples. A lot of people automatically picked that they were meant to be pumpkins. But to make it really clear, I went to Lee and I begged her to make me a stamp to go onto my little pumpkins. So we had little pumpkin lines, which I think really finished them off. So thank you, Lee, for making me that stamp to go with this. It's just finished these off perfectly. And as I said, that color has morphed back into it as well. They've taken on a real cakey sort of smell. You get that brown sugar and maple coming through on these soaps. So these are available now as part of the Halloween release that I have done, available online and in store for those of you that are able to visit. So I hope you've enjoyed watching how I made the Midnight Pumpkin Soap. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a great one and I'll see you then. Bye.